Hello, Hannah. Today I'm going to talk about Dear Edwina, the musical I performed in when I was in 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. 5th grade. And it's one of my favorite musicals of all time, which is kind of hilarious because it's for 5th graders. This show was my first musical with the theater group that I've been with since 5th grade, Youth Theater Company. And it's kind of the reason I came back the next year, which is really was a good choice since, kind of changed my life. And it's, I'm not going to try to pretend that it's particularly deep or interesting, but it's basically about this girl who gives advice. Her name's Edwina, and she gives advice to people. And during the summer, she has a little show in her garage that she puts on, in which she gives advice via musical numbers. And she wants to be invited to the Advice-a-Palooza Festival in Kalamazoo. Now, when I got invitations from Kalamazoo College this year for being a senior, I got really, really excited because it was Kalamazoo and I remembered it from Dear Edwina, and I actually considered replying just because of that, which is kind of sad. But anyway, she wants to go to the Kalamazoo Advice-a-Palooza Festival because she really wants this invitation and she wants awards from this festival because her siblings are all crazy talented and she, just doesn't have a talent. She's just good at giving advice. And so, yeah, that's the basic plot. There's a talent scout that's coming to this show and, just watch. And what ends up happening, I'm going to spoil the plot for you, Hannah. Watch out, I'm spoiling the plot. I hope that's okay with you. If it's not, you better turn this off right now because I know this is not one of those shows you want the plot spoiled on. Anyway, there's this guy, Scott, who's, in love with her, and he keeps trying to get his letter read by her. She's like, no, Scott, we're not going to read your letter. And then finally he just sort of, decides to read it. And it's basically a letter that's being I'm in love with my friend Edwina, what do I do? And so it describes his love for her. And the talent scout sees this. She's asleep through the most of the show, but she sees this, and she's like, oh, he's really talented. Let's get him for the festival. And so she gets Scott, and she leaves Edwina. So poor Edwina, doesn't get the talent thing. Anyway, so then her sister Caety comes back from math camp, and her sister Caety was made fun of at math camp, and so she, ditched. And she is, because her sister Caty's really good at math, and she's all upset, so Edwina's, giving her advice that's basically, you need to be yourself. It doesn't matter if these girls are mean to you at math camp, which, by the way, the girls at math camp are mean to her. How much of a nerd must she be if she gets made fun of at math camp? Anyway, I'm so awful. Edwina, Edwina's you just need to be yourself. And Katie's well, Edwina, maybe you should follow your own advice. And she's hey, why are you trying to be all, talented and get awards? You should just be yourself. You get people giving people advice. That's what matters. And so then they sing a song called Sing Your Own Song. And it's beautiful. And it's sing your own song, raise your own voice. Your voice is not a thing to be afraid of. It's very touching, Hannah. And through this, they realize that you just need to be yourself. And it's wonderful. And I love this show. And reasons I love this show include the songs are awesome. There's only one song I don't like, Frank and Gus. But that song is just because it's not a very good song. It's just sort of funny, and it's kind of 5th grade boy humor funny. Sort of the boy song. So that's, it's a fine song. It's just not my thing. But I love all the other songs. There's a song, Ola Lola, that I absolutely adore. And that even though it's been, how many years? 8 years? Yeah, 8 years, 9 years, something like that, since we did this show, we still all know the dance to that song, and we all still will rock out to it, because it's such an awesome song. So yeah, there's Ola Lola, which is great. It's funny, sometimes in kids shows, they try to, awkwardly insert, adult humor. They don't really do that in this show. They just, have funny characters, and they just sort of just generally, it's funny just because of, little things, the silly names and stuff. So I like that, because you don't get any awkward jokes. The show Honk, which the middle schoolers recently put on, which, by the way, has a lot of death in it. There's, a massacre on stage. It's insane. But we actually did a body count to see it, to where we realized that more people die in that show than have died in all Youth Theater Company shows combined, which is pretty insane. Did I just get a Facebook chat? I did get a Facebook chat. Isn't that exciting, Hannah? No, it's not. Not for you. Because you did get a Facebook chat. I'm more popular than I'm ridiculous this morning. I should just delete this video and start a new one, but I'm not going to. Anyway, did I have a point? I think I did. Yes, Honk has, like, a lot of, like, adult humor kind of mixed in there, and it's kind of, like, it's funny, but it's kind of awkward, and sometimes there's references that, like, I don't get, and so it's just sort of awkward, whereas Edwina just goes for, like, humor that all ages understand. And then, you know, like, the characters you actually care about, they're not annoying, they're actually nice and cool, and it's one of the shows that's really great for a kid cast, because it has a ton of parts. Like, we had to double cast a lot of parts, which just usually happen in these shows, because there are so many parts for kids, and there's a lot of little solo parts, which is great. And then, I like it because of the message of the show, because what a great message is Sing Your Own Song. It's awesome. I live my life by that message. Also, this show is the reason I know how to set a table. It has a song about how to set a table, and I still only know how to set a table because I think of the song in my head. So congrats. Anyway, that's this video. It's a really lame video, I know. This is about Dear Edwina, the musical, which is a fantastic musical, and if you ever get the chance to see it or perform in it, you should, because it's awesome. Okay, I'm going to try to retain some dignity now and stop this video. Goodbye.